Hey folks, what's up? Well, let me bring it down a little bit more. There you go. Hey folks, what's up? So we've got a great show today. Yes, I know it's summertime. I know I'm supposed to not be doing shows. Supposed to be chilling, relaxing. I am, but it's Friday, and I have had an itch to just talk to some creatives about what they're doing, what they're reading, what they're taking in, thing like that. So I'm gonna do that today. Uh, it's a little late. It's past 6:15, but we're gonna make it work. If you get that joke, you get it. If you don't, I don't care. You'll find out in a few minutes. So, folks, are you ready? Because I'm ready to go. My cursor's all over my damn computer screen, but we're gonna get it started. All right. See you. Hey, folks, what's up? And welcome to the Hungry Bleak Show. So, look, I haven't done interviews in a while, but I don't really think of them as interviews. I think of them more as chats, but we're going to have a nice chat today. But let me get the introduction out of the way. I'm Antonio Pomares, aka the Hungry Bleak, the hungriest man in the room. Take that however you like. And look, uh, got to speak to this cat a bit, excuse me, on Summer of Geek, what we're doing. Myself, Job, and Robert, we're having just a great time having lists, and we have great guests that have been coming on, having a lot of fun with that. Got to speak to this cat for the first time, like actually speaking, first time, but been chatting for a while. Love his comics. One of my favorite is King's Domain, obviously. Absolutely love that one. I'm gonna have a funny story about why I actually love it so much too. But Ivorly, yeah, King's Domain, 615 Comics is this company that I feel like has knocked the door down. No, it hasn't knocked, has kicked the door down, and it's just living all on your couch, eating your food and everything because it's all in there. And I'm absolutely loving this. And just having this new company to check out. So we're going to speak to the face of this company, the creator, the writer of this incredible publisher out there, who is Malcolm McFadden.
Hey, that was a great introduction, bro. That was fire.
Look, man, I gotta say, man, it's like, well, first off, thank you for coming and sharing your time with us. I truly appreciate it. Obviously,
hmm Thank you for
um,
having me on.
yeah, man. I mean, I just 615 Comics, like you see a lot in Kickstarter. You see a lot of comics all over the place, honestly.
hmm
You see comics that you from people that you know, people you don't know, people that just out of nowhere. And sometimes it's an impulse. You're like, oh, this looks really cool. Let me check this out. Some things like, oh, I know that writer, I know this artist, whatever it is. You're like, oh, what have you, just doing it. This was one that came out of nowhere. I said, oh, let me go grab this. And since then, Kickstarter after Kickstarter after Kickstarter. You're knocking it down, having some of the most fun comics that I'm enjoying reading. But also these in-depth characters. I know you're just starting. You're just opening up the world for them. But for those who may not know about it, tell us a bit about 615 Comics and what it means.
Okay, so people who don't know me, what's good, everybody? I'm Malcolm McFadden, the creator 615 Comics. And 615 Comics is my comic company. And what it means, well, why I started was to kind of just be representation. I wanted to have dope dope stories about dope black characters, and so that's really where it started, and also just being a comic fan myself. So I just wanted to tell fun stories, entertaining stories, like you said, just stories that people could dive into and kind of see themselves in, and kind of, get that good old comic book feel and get good stories, just with centered around black characters.
Yeah. Now I keep meaning to ask you this, and I keep forgetting. Where did you get 615 from?
So 615 actually came from my friend. We used to go to his house all the time. It was like a hub, just like for creativity. We used to do just mad stuff there, and some ideas were good, some ideas weren't. But we used to just go over there and just create. And then he actually passed away about maybe 10 years or so ago. And then so I used the name 615 to kind of keep the spirit of his house alive, and his address was 615. So that's why I named it 615, to kind of keep the spirit of him and that house and the creativity and kind of the friends that I made there alive.
Wow. Much appreciation to that. Much appreciation. I actually love that. I love anything where um you're still holding on to something
Mhm.
and paying an homage to it, whether it's in the name of a character, whether it's in the name of your publisher, whatever it is in there that it holds that spirit alive. I love that.
Yeah.
That's dope. Now, tell us about some of the comics there, because you have just this roster that is absolutely dastardly, and I'm absolutely here for it.
Yeah, so I have a whole universe of characters, much like DC and Marvel, but I like to say it's more so like Valiant Comics. If anybody knows about
Ooh,
Valiant
yes.
Comics,
Okay.
their universe was kind of like these different characters that can live in these pockets of the universe and never have to interact. Like Valiant Comics, you may never see Exo Manowar or Ninjak interact, but they do. And if they didn't, it kind of still would make sense. So I kind of built my universe like that, the 615 universe, with characters like Avorli, Mahis in the King's Domain, Hellhawk, uh, Malik Mitchell, aka the Black Vigilante, in the Legacy, and also Subject Zero. So I built out this universe just for like different things. Like if you like action, like Subject Zero may be more your story. If you like a father and son story, Legacy would be your story. So I just wanted to make a universe that anybody could jump into and then find the character that they attach to and kind of go from there.
Yeah, these are characters that are awesome. I forgot that Brack Soul is part of 615 too. Because I was looking, I was
Yes,
like, oh wait, Brack Soul is part of that too. I said, damn, wait, hold on. This brother got a lot going on. Hold on, let me get
I
myself
do.
together. Let me
I
get
do.
myself
Yeah.
together.
So
So
those two
you have
stories.
also the outer verse.
Yeah, so those two stories were I created the 615 universe for those five stories to live in, but that universe kind of lives in like it has like a set of rules for that universe. So I wanted to kind of create stories that weren't kind of confined to be in that universe, which is where Brack Soul and Thema come from. And also, in the future I have plans, I have a bunch of stories written. I'm writing a horror story too, which is fun. But I have a bunch of stories written that I would love to like hopefully one day get published. You feel me? So
Mhm.
that's kind of where the Outerverse is for. It's kind of just a place for me to tell different stories, and also if a creator wanted to publish their comic through 615 Comics and then not be connected to the 615 universe, that's kind of avenue for me to do that too.
Okay. Now, I love the fact that you're thinking of it in those terms, as far as like having pocket universes, and they're in the same place, but they may never interact, and that's
Right.
okay. We Not everything needs to be a crossover or an event. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but sometimes it's cool for characters to have their own thing and do their own thing and be like, yeah, I'm not getting involved in any of that mess over there. That's not me. That's not my thing. Um, I also love the fact um, that you have something where if you have someone who has a story that may
Mhm.
fit in the outer verse, that they can actually, put something through the outer verse as well. I love that fact of setting it up, um, so you can have other people come in and just giving more space for creators
Mhm.
to do their thing and to have their stories up on the stage as well, which is cool.
Yeah, that's one thing that I would love to do. I know right now is I'm mostly just putting out my stories, but I would love for one day, to put out other creators if they, wanted to publish under 615 Comics and help creators publish their stories too. But that would probably be one hopefully in the future one day. Right now I'm just trying to, get things up and building because I'm still I know I got a bunch of titles and stuff, but I'm still very brand new to the comic book creating game. So I'm just kind of trying to build a very good foundation to, build up on that.
I would say, yeah, the foundation you're building is definitely great. So, can you tell us some about the 615 universe and some of these characters? Let's start with Ivorli, because I think Ivorli, I would say that would be your flagship title, because that
Yeah.
was the first one that I saw, and it was just, look, a cool ass black woman out here fighting and with a hood and powers. You already had my money before I even knew what was going on.
Facts.
Definitely. So tell us about Ivor Lee.
And that's funny that you said that, because if I, as a fan of comics, if I saw a superpower black woman with a hood, I would have picked up that immediately too.
Bro,
but
you automatically run to it automatically.
yeah, yeah, and so that's kind of why that was kind of thought of creating her too. I wanted to make a character that, you know, stuck out, and like especially with her colors, the vibrant of the pink and the
Mhm.
silver. I wanted that to step out. But Lee, yes, this is definitely my flagship character, my first character that I put out, and it's funny because it wasn't actually planned to be like that, but she came out first, and people have really gravitated to her. People like her character and love her story. I get the most compliments really about her and like the King's Domain. But she's a character where creating her, I wanted to create like a superhero type of story, but not exactly superhero type of story. You get what I mean? Like not like,
Yes.
oh, this is Wonder Man and he is in the city of, he's in Colossus City fighting against bank robbers. You feel me? I wanted to make
Mhm.
a character who her superhero name is her actual name. And then she's really just using her powers to get her parents back that have been kidnapped. And she's like the first of a new breed in humans. So that plays into a lot in her storyline and why her parents got kidnapped. But I really wanted to create a story where it was still a lot of, it's still superhero elements, but not a straightforward superhero story, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, this was the one that caught me. One of the things I talked about, because I had to talk about it when I got it, because it was just yes, because I was like, yes, absolutely yes. But one of the things that Robert and I talked about it with the story was that um, the emotional distress that she's under and her powers and how they would flare up, and the use of the color with that was just absolutely perfect in two forms of storytelling, as far as written and then also in the art. And it
Mm-hmm.
blended so well that it was like, yeah, definitely. And to have it, and to have your flagship title be a black female character was just also great, because some cats not doing that. They're just not. So I absolutely loved seeing that. Now the next one I got to talk about. Now, as much as I love Ivora Lee, as much as I love Ivora Lee, King's Domain hit me in my heart. It truly did. And again, no shame to Ivora Lee. Absolutely, she is badass. Um, the fight in like the desert, absolutely. I'm for that. King's Domain hit me a bit deeper in my heart. So tell us about King's Domain.
Yeah, man, this is one of my favorite characters. When I created this character, Mahis, Amari King, aka Mahis, when I created him, I wanted to create a character that I thought was cool as Mr. Terrific. Because Mr. Terrific, when you
Oh,
read him, he is just cool. Like he is different. All his feats and stuff that he can do is cool every time, and especially when the books lately, he'll be in random books and then just random. He was in a Flash book one time where they said he can make veggie burgers that actually taste like real burgers, and I believed it. And then like he just has all these cool feats. So I wanted to create a character that I thought was as cool as that, you know, and that's where this character comes from. Of course, when you look at him, you're not thinking of Mr. Terrific, because all these things are things that I thought were cool and like built this character up. But he is like a fighter of the innocent, a protector of animals, and he's using his power and resources to bring down this organization called the Alpha Organization. And along with just doing a bunch of evil stuff, they also profit off animal cruelty. So he's trying to use his powers and resources to bring them down and put an end to them. But he'll realize that he might have bit off a lot more than he can chew. So this is a story. This story actually came like I said, my love of Mr. Terrific, how cool he is, and also me growing up as an Animal Planet kid who was always watching Animal Planet, and then so it was kind of, um, putting my love of animals in there too and making it in like a superhero type of way.
this one hit me when I read this issue again. It was, I think this was the second Kickstarter that you did after Ivora Lee,
Yep.
number one, I think. Yeah. So I saw this and I was like 615. Oh yeah, that's who did that guy. And I was looking, I was like, oh, this man, this is awesome as hell. Read the first issue, absolutely loved it. Second Kickstarter came out, the issue came out, I was like, okay, cool, bet. Um Craven had been on Netflix for a minute. And I was like, you know what? Let me just watch it. Let me just watch. Let me get it out. When I watched it, and I was like, y'all could have had something cool, but that whole rhino thing and that noise he made, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And I said, you know what? I said, oh, you know what? I have King's Domain number two came out. Let me reread the first issue and then read the second issue. the second issue was such a palate cleanser for Craven, and I'm not trying to be playing like that. No offense to anybody who was in the movie. Sometimes you make a movie and it is what it is. All right, fine.
Mhm.
But I loved it because you opened up the world so much more these with this villain and this group, that the Alpha organization, but also some of the characters that I saw that were fighters the in the cage matches. I was like, oh, that character right there. If I get that character later on, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm patient. Obviously, I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? But I was like, that character looks like they're gonna do some damage later on in another issue. I'm gonna let it go. But I love the fact that you
Which
brought
hold
them
on,
in.
which character?
Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of the character. It was in. I'm trying to remember.
Was
It
it
was in the
Dark
cage
Pulse?
fight. Oh, I can't
Because it was
remember.
the Shadows Claw and Dark Pulse, I believe.
Might have been Shadow's Claw, because
Okay,
it was
yeah.
just the look of them. I was like, and the way they were in that cage, I was like, this is going to be something else, because it wasn't just like throwaway, like generic, like characters. When you saw them, you like, oh, there's something more there. I don't know, like if this is like an Easter egg, whatever it is, I don't know, but I love that feeling. It made me feel like, um, what there was just like unlimited episode where all the women were in the cage fights and they were being run by Roulette, I think her name is, and it was awesome. So I love seeing superpowered people in cage fights.
Mm-hmm.
I love that underground like cage fight kind of scene and vibe, and I love when it's like superpowered people. Whether they're down on their luck and they got to use their powers to to scrape up a couple of $100 a night to deal with whatever it is, whatever it is. So seeing that scene, I was like, yeah, this is a great way to lead into this underground organization that is about to just totally wreck Amari's life. And I'm here for every issue of it, which I love. So yeah, this was cool. I do have one question though. Is Amari
Yes,
vegan?
yes. So I think about that all the time. I think about
Okay,
that all the
okay,
time.
okay.
So it's not like said yet in the book. I think I am going to make him vegan because I think that would just make sense. So
Okay.
I think I am just going to make him vegan. So I had always thought that, like, should I make him vegan? Does he eat meat? Does he not? Like, how does that work? But yeah, I think I am going to make him vegan in the book just to go with it. I'm not vegan myself, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I will have him be vegan just to keep. I think that consistency. If he's gonna go this hard for animals in real life, like, why would he eat meat? You feel me? So I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like it was two thoughts, because I was like, oh, he's probably vegan. But again, that was just me making my own head canon. I was like, he's probably vegan.
no,
And
that's
I know
something
there
I
was no
really
in the book.
that was a great question because I do think about that a lot. Like, I do think
Mm-hmm.
about that, like, and then how I would like incorporate that. I mean, I guess go incorporate it real easy. Him going to a restaurant and ordering something vegan, but that
That's true,
I
yeah.
did think about that a lot. Like, if I was gonna make him vegan, if I was not, you feel me? But yeah, I
Mhm.
am definitely probably leaning towards definitely making him vegan.
Yeah, but it was just, yeah, like this is the one that just like really caught me. Like I said, it was just the whole vibe and everything, and him being like an MMA fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and the suit and everything. It just felt very like the presentation of the character, I should say, and that whole world was just hitting me. Now,
Yeah, and I
Hellhawk.
really thank you for that because that one when I really create, I wanted to make something that I thought was cool. Like, it really, I really went hard to. I was like, I know there were things I scratched things. There was other ideas. Like, no, I want a character that I myself definitively, if I read this, I would be like, okay, this is my guy. And then so yeah, and then it I really went in the lab, did a lot of brainstorming. So really, thank you for that. I really appreciate that because I put some time in to really create him how
No,
to make at least that I would be a fan of him. So I love that other people are a fan of him too.
yeah, I mean definitely. And here we have Hellhawk.
Yeah, Hellhawk is another one. Is more. This is my vigilante type of series, like
Hmm.
inner city gritty, because this is something that's really my style. This is like the type of book I like with like a little bit of mystery, a lot of violence, action, you know. So this is about Hellhawk, and like it says here, he's a vigilante that's been missing for about 20 years. He's been missing from Helltron City for 20 years, and now he's back and more violent than ever. And everybody's wondering why, especially since the city is seeming to be overrun with like costume criminals. So this was a very another fun story to tell. All my stories are really fun to tell because they're stories that I like that I would actually read. And so this one was fun, just adding the mystery, the different characters to it, like just the detectives that are in the city, also Hellhawk himself, the mystery of it. And also I love it because I don't say who Hellhawk is, you don't see his face.
Yes.
And I don't plan for you to see his face until I believe issue 5 or 6 is when like I tell you who he actually is. Don't worry, he is a black character, but you're not gonna know
All right.
until later. But yeah, this story was really inspired by comics like Falcon, Shadowhawk. Really Falcon and Shadowhawk, like this was a really especially Shadowhawk. I was fans of those, and I always wanted to create like a character with like wings and like a bird type character, and I always knew it had to be a hawk because that was my favorite bird.
Mhm.
So when I really sat down to create this character, it was like Hawk. I need a good name for it, and I don't even remember how I came up with Hellhawk, but it came up because I had a bunch of names out that were already taken. It seemed like everybody took every Hawk name in the book, but except for Hellhawk. So I was like, all right, bet I got my name. But yeah, this is my vigilante story. If you like Moon Knight, Daredevil, it's something like that.
Yeah, I definitely like this one because I like the mystery of who is the vigilante, but not knowing who it is, but still being out there.
Mm-hmm.
And to bring up a name like Shadowhawk, which I think might be one of the most vicious vigilante characters I can think of.
Yes.
Um, it at that time, like in like again, that was in like the early stages of Image
Mm-hmm.
when they were still getting there everything, and this was a character who was literally breaking people's spines
Yes, literally. That was one of the
continuously.
first things you saw. It's
Yep.
him literally break that guy's spine. And I think
Yeah,
issue 1.
elbow was just in
Yeah.
there. And I was like, I remember reading it. I'm like, wow, and how in depth it got with that. I was just always amazed to it. So that was one that got me. So having inspirations like Shadowhawk, and Falcon, um, especially because there are like black characters that fly too, that are like have wings
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Like when like there are certain things that I love seeing black people fly and black people like swimming like that totally sounds like a joke, but it's not. Like I
Oh,
absolutely
I didn't
love
even think of it like
you know
that.
what I mean? But it's there's something cool about seeing like black cat like um uh what's his name Calderon from a Young Justice,
Mm-hmm.
um Aqualad.
Aqua, yeah.
Seeing him in the water is just one of the coolest things possible. I love seeing like black characters in the water or fighting or just being like Atlanteans or whatever, just having the super strength and everything and being underwater and swimming like faster than like any of the sea creatures possible, or them flying, whether it's with wings or just them flying
Yeah.
themselves. I always think that's one of the coolest things. So this was definitely hit me. And then just being a vigilante and not knowing who it is. I don't need to see them taking out the mask on top of a rooftop first issue, and that I
Right.
want to keep it. We're not supposed to know until whenever the writer wants to know. But I love
Mm-hmm.
that feeling of that as well. So that's this is another one that kind of hit me. I was like, okay, this is the darker side of 615, let's say, like the more street level, which you
Yeah.
definitely need. And then we have the legacy.
Oh, the legacy. This is my baby. This is like I know. Like I talk big on all my series, but when I say my favorite is close to my heart. It's my story. Like this is the book that I love the most. It's not my most popular, but it's the one I love the most because it has the most me in it. Um, it and a lot of inspirations from my life. This is a father and son story where the father and son have these powers that have been passed down from generations, and the son wants to use the powers to do a little more, and like he wants to be a vigilante, actually, help out the city. And also he's an adrenaline junkie too. So he kind of wants to do it because the adrenaline and the pump it gives him. But his dad wants them to stay low key and out the way and not draw too much attention to themselves. But the son, being the son, doesn't listen to his dad. So he does it anyway. But he has to hide it from his dad, even though they have a really great relationship. And then so, like I said, this story was a lot about me, a lot about my life was in this. This book is actually dedicated to my father who passed away. But this whole story is like I love it. This is like my favorite of them all. But yeah, this one is more so a father and son story, and it's also made to be a little bit of representation, not just with the black characters, but we don't really see stories about father and sons and black father and sons all the time. So this is definitely something that I wanted to put out there to be a little bit of representation on two ends, not just the black side, but the black father and son side.
Yeah, this one has. It's funny that this one has heart. Like it's still a vigilante
Mhm.
story, whatever, but that it has the heart of that, especially with the dynamics between father and son. Stories where it's the parent trying to help the child see a different way,
Mhm.
um, is always interesting to me because sometimes at those younger ages we don't have uh, the emotional maturity
Facts.
to see what's happening, and we don't understand it until it's too late sometimes, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So to have a story like this, especially with powers, I'm gonna be real
Mhm.
with you. At 16, you couldn't have told me a damn thing if I had powers. You couldn't have told me nothing.
Right.
I thought I knew a lot, but sometimes you can know a lot, but still not have that emotional maturity to understand what you know.
Mhm.
So if I had powers, man, just empty out the city. Just empty out the city, man. It's like I'm not gonna be a villain, but I'm a teenage boy who don't know. No, I look, man. I'm
Exactly.
like I'm gonna come back 20 years later, like I'm Hancock and be like, hey man, I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'll help rebuild the city and everything. I'm sorry. So to have that type of story with a father and son and seeing both sides and both also being like strong willed
Mhm.
and constantly butting heads. Yeah, that's a beautiful story to tell. And again, a story with heart, but you have comic book action, you got your vigilantes. Yeah, you're still there. All right,
And this
so
story also with made me think of this when you said it, like the emotional, I mean, like when you're a kid you don't have like the emotional maturity and things like
yeah,
that like that side of it really, that story really sharpened my pen a lot, because like it was thinking about it like that, because you got the father, you have the son. When you're in that state, you kind of always think you're right. When you're younger, you think you're right, you think you know everything. And as the
mhm,
father, he has to show him like, okay, you don't know everything, even though you're super smart, you know a lot, but you don't know everything. You don't know as much as I've seen and my experiences. So it was really writing both sides of that really kind of sharpened my pen, and having to think about that, like um think about it as, because most of my life I've been the kid who doesn't see everything, and now that I'm older, I'm more so stepping into that role where it's like, okay, now you seeing steps forward because you experienced it. So that really, writing that story, really, that's why it's one of my favorites, because it really sharpened my pen as a writer, and having to put yourself in different shoes, you feel me, and then also
mhm.
write from that aspect. And yeah, that story, it really, yeah, like I said, sharpen my pen. I love the legacy. I could talk about the legacy for ages, you feel me, but yeah.
But that's the beauty of it. That it's a story that it hits you, and then that pulls more out of you as far
Hmm.
as being like a creative and, like you said perfectly, it sharpened your skills. Like it made you more there because you're drawing more on something that's emotional too, and something that's really you.
Right.
Like that's literally like your blood, sweat, and tears on that page. That's literally you.
Hmm.
So that's the beauty of something like that, where it pulls it more out of you, and the creative process. You like, oh, that's how, and it just like that's a euphoric feeling when that bond when that rhythm hits. It's just
Yes,
beautiful.
it is. It
So
is.
subject zero.
Hey, the action packed story. So this one was just this one was just, I just wanted a action packed story where it was just blood, guts, spitting ass everywhere. That's what I wanted.
Yeah,
That's what that, because I love me a good early 2000s action movie where the story isn't super great, but the action is just fire. You feel me? Of course, I
yep.
wanted to make this story good because I added a lot in this story, like to this story, bro. When I was first making it, I just wanted to be balls to wall action. That's it. And then as a creative, you never really sit in those pockets. You be like, okay, but this story has to kind of still be good. So I'll put a lot more into it.
I mean, it
Like,
got to be all right. You know,
yeah,
it's still got to be all right.
it still got it, the action can't just carry everything. You feel me? Still
Right.
has to be a good story. But this about a master assassin who is has these strange abilities, these special abilities, and has this very weird origin. And he's tasked with taking out these Frankenstein like monsters who also have strange abilities that will put his to the test. But there's a lot more mystery underlying it, especially with the organization that he works for. Who, and this is also connected to Avor Lee. Some of the characters do cross over in the stories. There's one character that's actually in both stories, but yeah, this is directly connected to Avor Lee, and this one is action packed mystery. And it actually, like I said, I wanted to just be an action story, but this story actually has a lot to do with the bigger universe in 615 comics. Not, I can't say too much because this book we just had a Kickstarter for, and people will kind of see it when we release the book and they get it. That just how that this will have a bigger, this will have a bigger role. I have a much bigger role in the whole universe. So this is an action-packed series. If you like Deathstroke, if you like Ninja K, this is your series. I'm telling you, it's fire.
Props to you for saying Ninja K, first off, because because I had forgotten about that. And when you just said now, I was like, oh yeah, it is. Because in my head, when I saw it, I said, oh, Ninjak. And when you said Ninja K, I was like, yeah, no. He's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to
He's
call
right.
him Ninjak too, but after I read the Ninja Files, I think it was called,
Yes.
with the
Yeah.
Ninja Files, and man, I had to just, that joint was fire. I actually just I just recently read that joint, and the other one, what's it called? Killers, where it has all this, some of the other ninjas where somebody's hunting down the ninjas.
Yeah. Kill. Yeah. That one is some of that story was cool, and also some of the covers are just incredible.
Yeah,
That like that whole
because they
thing was
had the
yeah.
black lady, the black ninja, like,
Yep.
oh, them joints was fire. Yeah, but that, yeah, this was definitely inspired by Ninjak and Deathstroke. Like, those are the two of the main stories that inspired this one.
And folks, all of these are available on, excuse me, the website for 615 Comics. There's a link in the episode description. I always try to put a link in there so you can go and check out these comics as well, because there's a lot here, which are just, like I said, just some of what Malcolm has said about the comics. But then you go in deeper in reading, and you will be entertained in such a amazing way. I absolutely like this isn't, y'all know, I don't, as hard as we got to work for our money and stuff that we got to do, I'm not trying to have y'all go out here and just like buying comics willy-nilly that don't hit me. So anything that I tell you, look, this is cool, go check this out, is because it's good. They got their money, because I will stop reading a comic on page 1 if it doesn't hit me. I legit will. I don't have the time, the patience, the hairline. I legitimately don't. Bet I will. I've done it. There are a couple of comics where I was like, yeah, no, you know what? No, I'm good. I deleted it off my tablet, and I went and made a sandwich, or Tucker Walker did something else that was more productive. I legit won't. And you won't know what comics those are, because I won't talk about them, because it doesn't matter. I legitimately, I won't. So when I talk about a comic in this way, it's because the comic is absolutely entertaining. It's fun. It's well written. The art is hitting. Everything was on for me, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And plus, the publisher is great with their work, consistent, gives you the kick. Like, if you're part of Kickstarter, will get the comics in a timely manner.
Always trying to do that. Definitely.
Like, that's one of the things that, and that's another thing that I love about 615 too, is when it does, like, it's there. I was like, oh damn, okay, cool, bet. And I love that. And the stories that I'm getting are a nice variety of stories, as far as like themes and characters and everything like that, but still in the same universe. But again, not necessarily interacting all the time. Like, you're not going to see people flying through the screen, like, like you just not, but that's cool. But that's what I love about this as well. So yeah, please go check out 615 Comics. Like I said, the excuse me, the link for the website is in the episode description. But what we got to talk about now is we got to talk about, what are you reading? What are 3 things that you're reading right now?
Yes, 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 yes. All right. Right now, currently, man, I'm reading a lot. Like I was telling you before we came on, I'm reading a lot, bro. Like I'm probably reading the most comics I've ever read at one point in time, at one time right now. So some of my favorites, I think really right now, my favorite, I can definitively say this is my favorite comic is D Orc. I don't know if you're reading that.
I read the first issue and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, cool. But again, like you said, there's so many comics out there. Some things get lost in the shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
But it had me the shield with the eye. I was like, at first I was like, that's a little awkward. Then I was like, oh, all right, yes, yes,
That book, bro, like I loved it.
yes,
It's the perfect blend of like funny but still serious and have a really good
yes.
story. Like I can even see it as like an animated series. Like it is
Mhm.
really good. It also throws like real life things in the funny. Like it'll be there was just one scene that kind of it really equates to a lot of things that are happening in America today, but it was told in a very funny fantasy style. Like D Orc is literally my one of my favorite is my favorite comic because it's like a funny Lord of the Rings style comic. It is great.
Yes.
I literally just read what did I read today with my son? Seven I think just came out. Seven, eight. What one? I think it's seven came out
Mhm.
last Wednesday, and I was reading that. And my son, he's 3. He just was looking at the pictures and told me to read the characters. But it was it's a really good book, and it's fun. Like you said, he has a shield. There's a chicken that he cuts the head off, and the ghost of the chicken follows
Yes.
him.
I forgot.
Like
Yeah, there's so much in there that I forgot about that part. Yes,
it's
yes, I forgot. Yes, yes,
that
yes.
would be probably one of my favorites that I'm reading right now. You said 3.
Yeah,
This just came out in trade paperback, and I gotta give this a shout out because it's like a ghost story from my hometown. Crownsville by Rodney Barnes. The trade paperback just came out for that.
it did. Oh, bet. Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you for
yes.
letting me know. Yeah, because I've been waiting for that one. Thank you. Yes, yes.
And if you haven't read Crownsville is about this abandoned mental institution that's actually next to Annapolis, and it's called Crownsville. And then it's abandoned, but there's all these ghost stories about it, like from Annapolis. Like they're like you can like the people in there, you are still there, and all this stuff. And Rodney Barnes actually used that and made the ghost stories into the comic book. So this is literally a real life place that is from where I'm from, and it's a comic book. You feel me?
Hmm.
Oh, shouts to DeAndre. Shouts to him real quick. He has been a supporter of 615 Comics for I think the whole time. I think, but shouts to
Nice.
him, bro. Shouts to him. I'm definitely gonna throw you some extra stuff in your Kickstarter package because I your name. I remember your name, bro. When I see your name on the Kickstarter, I'm throwing something in there. Also, shouts to JD. Shouts to
Yeah,
JD also in the chat.
JD is
What
another
is
guy.
his
He's an
name,
indie
bro?
creator. He's been doing it for for a long time. I consider him like because his Unstoppable Comics is like a family, like literally a family
Mm-hmm. Okay.
comic book shop. So they're like like when I talk about them, I always call them the first family of comics because they're literally a family. Like when you go see their booth at New York Comic Con, and JD's birthday sometimes falls into New York Comic Con. You
Oh,
go
that
by,
sounds
you'll
fun.
randomly walk by and there will be cake. They'll be eating cake, just chilling. But he's one of the most heartfelt, one of the best creators out there, one of the most consistent as well. And again, timely and consistent. Like the Kickstarter will end and you might get the comic within like a week or so.
That's
And I
man.
love
I
it
wish I could
with
be
him.
all like that, bro. Man, that's tough.
Yeah,
That's tough.
that's it. That's tough, but that's why like I always respect and everything is because it's beautiful. So yeah, so shout out to them. And thank you so very much. So, thank
Yeah,
you.
shouts to you, Jay. Dag, sorry, ADHD. Where was I at? What
That's
was I
all right.
talking about?
Was
Oh,
your
Crownsville.
second choice? Yeah, Crownsville. Yes.
Crownsville, yeah, it's really dope because I love horror stories, I love ghost stories, and the fact that Rodney was able to take the ghost story from Annapolis because he's also from Annapolis to take the ghost story and then make it into a comic, and then now this is out for everybody to see and read. That is fire. It's like really, it's kind of like I guess if you lived near Camp Crystal Lake or something like that, you feel me? So it's
Yep.
kind of well, I guess that wouldn't be good since a lot of people died on that. But
No,
yeah,
no,
but yeah,
no.
that Crownsville is dope.
Everybody dies. Everybody died going around. Everybody. Nah, you just if you don't, it's like staying in Gotham. It's like you ain't got no choice. Like something like either the money's not right or it's hard to find someplace else to live, whatever. It's like staying in
Exactly.
Gotham. Same thing. Bet.
Uh,
What's your third one?
all right. Deork Crownsville. Oh, I gotta narrow it down because it is a lot.
There's a lot out there, man.
What is the best things I'm reading? Let me go with my favorites. Ooh, Mad Cave got this comic called Honor and Curse, bro.
I started
Ooh,
reading that before, and I'm
I'm-
late because I saw Eternal looks crazy.
yo, it. Oh my god. So
Eternal looks beautiful too. It looks the covers are beautiful, and
so
the
is
art
that
is
another
just
book
crazy.
that's connected to that universe?
Eternal is the latest arc in that.
Oh yeah, yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Honor Curse
yeah.
Eternal. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
think
it's
it just started this year, Eternal, but it's like the
yes, it did.
next like stage of it, I guess. Yeah, that one's a good. Yeah, yeah.
So when I first picked it up, I picked it up because I think I saw the cover or whatever, and it was fire, and the story seemed dope. So I read it, and then I realized that Mad Cave has this underground, not underground, underworld universe. Is
Mhm.
I think that's what it's called, and this book is connected to a bunch of other books. But Honor and Curse is basically this guy. He's not immortal. Well, he's kind of immortal because he has this demon that's in his head that he has locked away in his head that kind of keeps him alive. And then now there's somebody trying to bring him out and trying to like bring him out into the light and then take his demon from him. And then so it's a real dope story because he's like struggling with the demon that's in his head. The demon's kind of like, yo, let me out a little bit. Let's connect because he has to let the demon out to like fight sometimes, like when he gets stuck. And like the demon's trying to get out, but he don't really trust the demon. And it is just a fire story. There's literally just one issue. I think it's two or three. The entire issue is action, but the story is being told while the action is going. Like it's still the story is still being told and all that, but the entire issue is just action. And I was like, bro, that is fire. Like, how they got in their writing bag with that? Like, how did you just be like, okay, this whole issue is gonna be nothing but action, but you won't get story in this action. Like, just the ability to do that, man. Oh man, that was Honor and Curse is fire. I love that book.
Mad Cave has some of the best stuff out there.
Yes, they do.
Mad
Yes, they
Cave
do.
just comes out and like they have some like Honor and Curse, but then they have like retro stuff. They have like Speed Racer. They have Dick Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
They have like the whole like Flash Gordon, the Phantom, all those
Yeah,
like
I'll just ready to say that Phantom. Yeah.
you know, Defenders of the Universe. But then you have something like Temporal from Stephanie Williams, which was
Oh, that
such a
was
feel
on
good
Mad
comic.
Cave.
Yeah, it was such a feel good comic. It's just awesome. And then you have Eat Your Young, which was
I'm reading that. That is also
yes,
I had to pull that
yes,
out of my because I got all
yes,
of them. So I just read the first one. I gotta read all the rest of them, bro.
yes.
Oh
I need
man.
more of that story. I need more of that story. It's such a good. Yeah, I absolutely love the story, the art, everything is just is hitting on that one. Absolutely, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I gotta catch up on that one.
Those are great choices. Yeah, there's so much that I'm reading right now. One of them I gotta say is Moon Knight. Mark
Yeah,
Spector's Moon Knight.
my God. Moon Knight is fire. Oh
Mark
my
Spector Moon Knight
gosh.
has been like I've been Jed McKay's run on Moon Knight since the beginning. I picked it up as an impulse buy. I was like, yeah, I'll buy it, whatever. Because I'm a Moon Knight fan, but I wasn't like
Mhm.
a huge Moon Knight fan. I was like, oh, okay. And reading it, even though I did read like two of the old like omnibus of when he first appeared, like in
Mhm.
Spider-Man, and he was hunting him. Okay, cool, what have you. I picked up and I was like, wait, everything was hitting from the art to the way that people talk about capes in comics. They usually talk about Batman, Superman, Spawn. Moon Knight's name needs to be in that
Mhm.
conversation. What and in each series, because there have been I think three Moon Knight series
Yeah, by Jet. I
that
think it's
he's
been
written.
like three Fist of Khonshu. The Mark Spector is the one now. I can't remember
Yeah,
what it started out as. I think it's
I think
been
it was just Moon Knight.
it was just
Honestly, I think it
yeah,
was just
yeah.
Moon Knight. Then I think it was like maybe Vengeance of Moon Knight. But then there was the
Vengeance of
whole
Moon
thing.
Knight. Yep.
Yeah, and he's fighting vampires in this thing called the
Mhm.
Committee. Then you realize that that was laying groundwork for Blood Hunt and the
Mhm.
vampires and that whole thing with Blade and Avengers and Miles Morales was just crazy. That's one of the best things out there. I'm catching up on Cody Ziegler's Miles Morales, and it
Yes.
is
Oh, you
so
on my
beautifully done,
you on my
so amazing. Having him have almost like anxiety and panic attacks and how it's affecting his powers is so beautiful, and the way it combines with the art again, when art and writing and lettering and design and the inking and coloring, everything blends so well together. It's a beautiful story, and I'm absolutely loving this ride because I was like, this summer I got to catch up on this. And
Mhm.
then you hear that he's going to be doing Static.
Mhm.
I was like, bet, okay, cool. And then Brian E. Hill is now
Doing a
doing
new
Miles
one.
Morales, which just dropped this week, which I have to finish. But I love
I've
Brian E.
read that.
Hill's Blade. That was one of the most, I absolutely loved it. I got to interview him before Blade came out. And one of the best things that I ever heard he said, and I'd always thought about, he was like, um, I was able to do a lot with this book because you don't have to worry about stunt people. You don't have to worry about a budget as far as you got to get a helicopter and you got to get rigging
Mm.
equipment and stunts, everything. You can just have a character do these incredible things and have stuff that the artist loves. And he was like, as I was like, yeah, there's a scene where he jumps from a building to the helicopter. He's like, yeah, I'd have to get a helicopter or like worry about glass or anything like that. And I thought, he was like, yeah, there's no budget for that. And I was like, that's one of the smart. I was like, yeah. So that helps me to really pay attention to what people do in comics with these
Right.
incredible characters. Another one, because you
Oh,
said,
real quick to talk
yes,
about the Cody Ziegler.
yes,
One thing about that to really praise Cody Ziegler, that run that you're on with Miles, it as for Cody Ziegler to not create Miles, to not create that character, and then to write
yes,
that and then have it feels like he is the voice of Miles. For
yes,
him to not create that character and then take a character that's been done by other writers and then you come up and you have it sounds like you are the definitive voice. You are, because I've read the new Brian Hill, which it's still good, but it's it's like Cody really captured Miles. It's like he was really like it's like he created Miles since like that was his baby. You feel me?
yes,
So as a writer to come into a character that you did not create, like for me, I create my character, so I know them intimately. So like him to do that and then have that voice, bro, like that as a writer, man, I bow down to him. That is fire. That is dope. And
that's why I'm
you gonna
looking
love
forward
that
to
whole
his
run.
Static.
Me
That's why
too.
I'm
Me
really looking forward
too.
to his Static because yeah, when you're reading it because I've read Saladin Ahmed's Miles Morales,
Yeah,
and
which
I
was also
read,
good.
yeah, which was good, and I read oh my god, created him,
Michael Bendis, Michael
yes, thank you. I
Bendis.
don't know why I couldn't think of the name of one of the like biggest, like most iconic writers out there possible, but yeah, Ziegler. This is the run that like because I was buying the trades, I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, you know what? Let me read this. And then from the first one, I was like, oh my, I was like, wow. And the way his powers are reacting and the anxiety,
Hmm.
and someone who has anxiety as well, and sometimes has an anxiety attack, and I kind of just go, okay, I got to just ride the wave and go through it. The way he talks, the way he almost talks to his spider sense for it to go, and then showing therapy while web
Yes.
slinging through the city, I must say,
Yes.
on like a video call, but still taking it so seriously. And I believe his therapist is a black woman.
I don't know. See, I'm always confused. I don't know if she's black or like mixed. She's definitely brown.
Oh
I definitely
yeah,
know she's brown.
yeah.
Um,
Let me say a woman of color then.
Woman of color. She's
And
definitely of color.
yeah, but I love seeing that as well, and it's just so cool to me. And again, and the colors are vibrant and it's kinetic.
Hmm.
You feel like the swinging. You feel it. You like every going through it, and even seeing like some of the heroes and villains like a Bumbler who's
Bump.
basically just dressed
That's my
like a
guy.
bee, and I was
That's my
like,
guy.
yo, but I haven't read a Peter Parker comic in like a Peter Parker Spider-Man in such a long time.
Facts.
So this is almost like a reintroduction. And no offense to Peter Parker, look, Tom Holland got that in the bag. No offense to Toby, no offense to Andrew. I love y'all guys too, but Toby got that in the bag now. It's a whole different ball game. But um, reading what Cody did with Miles and having like the B and C level characters, the ones he can actually have these really funny conversations with while he's fighting you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I saw my man dressed up as a bee and he had honey and everything, and I was like, this is one of the best things I could ever possibly read on this day. Thank you. And it was a day that I needed to read something like that. And it was wild.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love it. And because you said dork, I'm going to recommend one for you. I don't know if you read it or not. It's called Barbaric.
No, oh my God, they making that into a Netflix series. They making
Yes.
Barbaric into a Netflix
Yes.
series. Oh, because
And that's going to be crazy.
Barbaric with the X,
Yes.
it's just
Yes.
like, so dork is literally like that. It's like a funny version of Barbaric. Yes,
Yeah.
oh my God, bro, I'm
Yes.
so hyped
They're,
that they making that into
they're
a
on that
Netflix.
similar wavelength. Because the dork just has more of that cartoonish kind of style,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
but still has that same kind of sense of humor,
Mhm.
fighting and everything like that. But yeah, Barbaric was, I have to catch up on. I think I'm maybe an arc or two behind, but it's
Me
one of the
too.
best things possible. It's just one of those comics. Again, another impulse buy. Impulse buys are the comics that I end up finding out are the best comics I could read, and they end up being like my comic of the year randomly because
Mhm.
I'm like, wait, this was not what I expected, and this was awesome. All right, so real quick, before we go, we've talked about comics, we've talked about 615, we talked about what you're reading now. I got to know, you are a professional wrestling fan,
Hey,
as am I.
where is this
Okay,
going?
if you had to have, actually, no, I shouldn't even say that. Let me say, who is one of your favorite wrestlers?
Who is mine? Like one? Like, are you? What do you mean? Like old or new? Like all
Old,
time?
new, doesn't, across time. Who is one of your favorite wrestlers?
You just give me just one?
And would you turn on them?
What do you mean turn on them?
Heel.
Oh, turn heel? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so I gotta pick just one. If I gotta pick just one, okay. If I gotta pick one, I'm gonna pick my guy Booker T. If I gotta
Oh,
pick
yeah.
just one,
Man.
and yes, I would turn on him. The man, the promos, the cuts, all that
Bro.
would be fire. Man, Booker T, having a feud with Booker T would actually no, I don't think I could do that because I couldn't keep a straight face.
That's the other thing, man. He comes up. Look, this man was announcing a match while fighting in TNA.
Oh
He
my
still had the
God.
robe on. He's, oh man, Booker T's up here, buddy. Well, he's kicking him in the mouth. Oh no, man, he's got it. I was
keep
sitting there
that.
like,
I keep that video. I keep that video saved. It's in one of my. I think it's in my bookmarks on Twitter to watch it. That and Teddy Long's, and you gonna go 1-on-1 with the
yes.
Undertaker.
I never realized he was doing that every week. I was just watching SmackDown happy, and I was like, but then when it started showing, I was like, now I know why Undertaker was only wrestling like once a year. This dude was out every week. He was Teddy Long's attack dog. He was just out there killing them. All right. Since I just said one, if you could have a faction, you and two other wrestlers, again, cross promotions, cross time, what have you, who would you pick?
Two other.
Yeah.
Oh, of all time. Oh my.
So you can go for those
God.
triple belts, man.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take Booker T out of this one. Booker T said I used it
Okay.
for the last one. I'm gonna go two totally different wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, number one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle would be number one.
Yeah,
Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
because he
one
already
of the best, like
one of the
legitimately.
best. He can turn anything into an ankle lock. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
And his promos, when he was serious, he had that intensity. But when he was funny,
he was funny.
When my man was wearing that little cowboy hat, and after he shaved his head, he was wearing that wig with the strap on it. Like, I was like, yo, this dude, he took to it so beautifully, man. He's just one of the best out there. And when he went to TNA,
my God.
And I didn't realize he wrestled in TNA longer than he wrestled in WWE.
I saw, bro. What did you see? A post or something like that said that? Because I saw a post that said like his time in TNA was longer than WWE. It was there, like it broke it down. I was like, I did not realize that.
And he was wilding out in TNA. He was like, when he jumped off the stage onto Abyss with that somersault, I was like, you wasn't doing this before. You want some new you and he was just one of those when he jumped ship. That was one of the that was one of the bigger that was like a Hogan, like
Mm-hmm.
Nash, like a Hall type of jump because you just saw him. I was watching, I was like, oh, and I was glued to the screen every time, man. He was there. It was
He was
awesome.
putting him, AJ Styles matches. Oh my gosh, bro. That was a time. That was a time where I told people, I was like, bro, the best wrestling I ever seen in my life was there was a span of TNA that was like
Mhm.
5 or so years that was literally the best wrestling I had
Yeah,
ever seen. Still to this day. I
yeah,
like, bro, those X division matches with the 6-sided ring,
yo,
the when they had the X in the middle and they would have like it was basically like a ladder match, but it was like
hmm
but they had the ropes.
Destination X, where they just have the rope in the center, and
Exactly.
that's what makes it so dangerous. There's no ladder; it's just the rope. They gotta crawl
Exactly.
across that. It's
That
crazy.
joint
Yeah.
was fire.
When you see Styles versus Angle versus Samoa Joe,
Oh my,
that was my introduction to Samoa Joe. I didn't know him from Ring of
he was
Honor,
fire.
and
I didn't
the
either.
first time I saw him was on a pay per view. Because I used to actually get the pay per views. I saw him going up against Sanjay Dutt, and I was like, oh, all right. And he came out, and I was like, this guy's massive. And the way he moved, I was not ready for that. And they
No.
didn't have him speak. And then when he spoke, I was like, oh, so he's not doing monster heel. So he's like, and when he speaks, you will believe you honestly believe that he's about to just tear the hell out of the whole room.
Ain't he funny
Absolutely.
at the same time?
Yes.
He
How
be mad serious but funny as hell.
how you menacing and funny at the same he's another one that just yeah, he has it there.
He man, Samoa Joe, he was my introduction was in those TNA days where he was up against AJ Styles, when he was
Mhm.
up against what was
Christopher
the one
Daniels.
Christopher Daniels, yeah, the one, yeah, we had
Yeah.
his arms out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Christopher
fallen angel.
Daniels.
Yep.
He was having matches. I think he had a match with no, that was Raven and Sabu that was going at that time.
Oh man, that's a
Man,
classic
the
ECW.
Sabu Abyss matches, the Sabu Abyss
Yo,
matches was wild.
Abyss
Oh
doesn't
my,
get enough credit, man. He
no, he
does
don't.
not. Chris Parks does not get enough credit.
That's his real name.
Yeah. And he's an
Mm.
agent for WWE now.
Yeah, yeah, I
He's
seen
going
because they showed him when AJ Styles was retiring and he
yeah,
came out and like did like a little appearance backstage. That
yeah.
was, you remember Monty Brown?
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh my,
That dude was crazy. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. He was one of the. I think they had something about Jeff Jarrett because I love watching uh the Dark Side of the Ring
oh, my friend
because
just
it's
told me
very
they did some on TNA that I need to watch, Dark Side of
yeah.
the
They're
Ring.
just a three-parter. The opening
That's what he
season for this
said.
season is 3 episodes, and it gives you everything in detail, and it changes a lot of your perspective on what you saw and then what and they're like no that's not what happened, this is really what it was, but we just made it that way, like the whole thing with Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle, and then Karen Angle,
Yeah.
how like they're married now.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
When they Karen and Kurt hadn't been together for a while, and then Jeff like met her and everything, and they ended up becoming a couple, and they end up getting married, but they were like, well, if people are thinking this, let's just use it as a storyline and use it as a storyline, but it wasn't how it really was. But when you
That's
look
tough.
at it, yeah, but in wrestling, I know that a lot of people, because you're on the road all the time, you know, you're like you're training together, you're a match, what
Mhm.
have you. And sometimes the couples get together, and sometimes, you know, people, I mean, you look at Matt Hardy, Lita, and Edge.
Yeah, that's literally
That's
what
one
I
of the
was
most
thinking about.
famous ones. Unfortunately, it sucks that it happens, and it's a very, I mean, I'm not even going to comment on like the heart, but it's just a very hard situation to be in
Yeah.
to see that type of stuff. So it's for fans, but you figure it's even 10 times harder for the people going through it. So you gotta, you know, but they turned it into a storyline and we gobble it up. But yeah, that one was 3 episodes, and it goes in deep from the beginning to like oh my god, what's the name, Dixie Carter, to all that stuff. It goes into everything in detail, a lot of it, and it's very
Mm.
interesting. It's very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, my man's told me, he was like, bro, if you don't watch none of the episodes, I need you to watch these 3 on
Mhm.
TNA. He was like, bro, watch these joints. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna watch them.
Yeah, it's definitely. I know it's not on Hulu yet, so you'd have to watch like on demand or what have you. Because I know season 6 just came up on Hulu, so they'll probably
Mhm.
so once season 7 is, and because this is a 7th season now, once that probably maybe like in the winter or something like that, like it'll be on Hulu. But it's been something that I've watched a few times on Hulu, like because it's just a very interesting show to me, and it gives a lot of in depth things on people you may not think about, or stars of yesteryear, or just because it's a very dark business. As much as we may love it and we love the
Mhm.
performances and everything like that, it's a very dark business of what it can do to people when they're not in the ring and when the lights aren't on them.
Facts.
Which is sad. It's true. Um, I honestly forgot that we were even doing the show. I'm gonna be real with you. Um, because the conversation just got so deep. But I'm gonna have you back again, and we'll talk more about wrestling.
Yes.
Actually,
I
probably
love talking
wrestling
about
and
wrestling.
comics, because there's a couple of like wrestling comics that I was like, oh, and I loved it, and I never thought about it, but I loved the mix, and they were just really good. But yeah, I forgot that we were doing a whole show. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, because the conversation just got lit. I'm gonna be real with you. So, folks, look, as you can already tell from me just forgetting that this was a show, um, look, we have talked about 615 counts. We've talked about comics. We've talked about professional wrestling and our love for it. Um, there's so much out there to go and check out, but I need you to check out 615 Comics. I need you to hit that the link that I put in the episode description, and please go check them out. Let me know, or honestly, let Malcolm know which
Definitely
title
let me
you
know.
like the most. But like which one hit you the hardest. You're not going to be disappointed with any of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. The one that hit me the most is King's Domain, like I said. But now I need to go reread Ivor Lee and go, you know what? Let me give this another one and go. It's not bad. It's good as hell also, because it's the one that got me into 615. But yeah, you can't go wrong with any of the titles. Malcolm, thank you for being here. Seriously, I
And
truly
once again,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Thank you for having me. This is these conversations every time I'm on, it's always fun, bro. So I
Look,
love it.
I honestly appreciate you, man. Appreciate the work that y'all are doing over there, and I thank you so very much. Folks, please, as always, I need you to be safe out there. Drink water, take your vitamins, take your meds, whether it's for physical, emotional, or mental ailment, because we want you to be the best you that you can be. Um, Look, it's hot, starting to cool down, but still hot. So be safe out there with the heat. And I will see you next week. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'm getting the itch again to do shows, and I want to come back next week. Um, and I'll see what I can bring up. Possibly have a guest, or maybe I'll just have something to tell you that will kind of just put some people in the dirt as far as the geek culture. It's just we got to clean up the culture, man. We need to black geek culture needs an enema. It needs cleaning out, man. There's a lot of there's some people that just gotta stop. Why are y'all mad at Stephanie Williams because of Black Panther?
Oh
Why?
man.
What
Oh
yeah,
man.
let's I'm not even like
Oh
y'all gotta
man.
stop, seriously, like stop it. And I
It's
hope she does get Black Panther. I hope she starts writing Black Panther, and y'all are
it's
hey,
wild, bro. She's writing Vixen like that. When I
she
saw, I didn't even go down a wormhole. When I saw
nah,
the
nah,
start of it,
don't
I
man.
was like, okay, this is gonna get dumb. I'm like, just what I was like, and then it kept going, and I was, oh man, yeah.
y'all are y'all are out of pocket every day of the year. Y'all so mad at that, but like y'all should be worrying about washing your asses. I mean that like y'all should be worried about washing your asses and drinking water. I mean for real, for real. Your urine looks like jet fuel. I mean like y'all need to chill for real. It's ridiculous. Y'all and you know what? This isn't even her at her prime. She's still revving up. She's got so
Yeah,
many things in the chamber.
bro. It's
Like
also is
she
like
constantly saying, "I got this in the chamber, just in the chamber." I'm like, "Go ahead, go ahead."
even if you mad at her for whatever reason, bro, this is a black woman in comics that's literally just killing it. Shut up. Like just chill. Like even if you mad, sit on the
But
side and let her just cook. Like she's literally killing in comics right now. Like let her
this is the thing
cook.
that gets me. If you don't have her number to text her and call her and complain, then how you gonna be mad at her?
She's
You
not
don't even
even
know her.
writing Black Panther. That's what I'm saying. She's not even doing Black Panther right now. That's what makes me like it's totally irrelevant.
They just mad to be. They just as a black woman who is excellent in her field
Fire.
and who shows it each and every day, who's getting love, who's getting so much support, who's getting attention, who's a spotlight, and who's also bringing other indie black creators into the
And
spotlight
deserves it. And
with her.
deserves it.
Yes, and she's earned every bit of these accolades. She was like my like creator of the year like for 2 years because she was knocking it out, and now she's doubled what she's been doing, and all of that. And whenever that happens, you always have this group of unwashed that feel like they must come out for some reason and give their opinions. No, you can have an opinion. Obviously, we're all human. You can have an opinion, but opinions, oh, okay, cool. But if you don't have somebody's number to text them and to text or call them and complain, you can't be mad at that person. You don't know somebody that well. You don't know her, so just go read something else. I'm gonna be. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. Yo, because you can smell them through them typing on the keyboard. For real. if I can smell you typing, I know you're not washed. I know it. You're dirty. Because why else would you be mad at her? You dirty, you dry, you musty. You don't drink water. I know you don't.
You don't drink water.
For real, you don't. I know you don't.
Yo.
You don't use sulfur 8 on your scalp. I know it. Never even heard of sulfur 8. That's fine.
Oh my God. The first sibling I see, I'm saying that too. You know what? You musty, you stink, and you don't drink water.
No, you don't. You know how much of and it's such a simple thing to say, and people get mad. People get madder at that than if you say something about like their grandmother. They're like, you musty, you stink, and I know you don't drink water.
You don't drink water.
They sound like a mad dog. They get mad.
I know
anyway,
you don't drink water.
For real. I know they don't drink water. I can smell their breath through the speakers in their like laptop, their tablet, their phone. I know it. I know y'all know. Because if you drank water, you would feel better about yourself. Your skin would be better. Like your whole aura would be better. Your breath, everything, and you wouldn't have time to be mad at a black woman that you don't know.
That you don't know, but not for who's not writing the book that you want. I'm so confused.
This is why I hope she gets Black Panther. I hope she gets Black Panther. And
I hope somebody gets Black Panther. He don't even got a book out. I hope somebody gets some.
Bro, there's Marvel got a whole whatever. I'm not even going to discuss that whole thing because I already let Blade and Wonder Man and all that stuff go. And
also
Dr. Voodoo.
The last thing about this thing, the one thing I saw that people were mad about was like she did like a one shot for Black Panther like a while ago, Wakanda, and like she was told what to write the story about. Like it wasn't like even her, it wasn't her creating the story. And I was like, bro, she was hired to write a story. Why are you like? And if she did actually get a Black Panther book, and she was free to like tell the story and tell a story and do T'Challa, like, do you not think that she would kill it? Like she would kill it. Like that would be fire.
I bet they didn't even read the book that she did.
Yeah, because I think it was back then. It was more so a Wakanda. I believe it was more of a Wakanda story than a T'Challa story, which is the entire thing. But yeah, so
stuff and didn't even read it.
Probably didn't.
You mad at something you didn't even read. That's why you don't drink water and you're musty. That's exactly why.
Back to it. Right back to it.
Mustians. That's what you call musty people. You call them mustians.
That's a good name.
Mustian. I'm not going to call you a Mustang because horses are cool. No. You get mustians.
Mustians. I like
musty beings of an unhealthy origin. Mustians. Anyway, let me stop because I start going in on y'all. Again, I hope y'all have a very good evening. It's Friday. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe, and we will see y'all later. Thank you again to Malcolm McFadden of 615 Comics. Always appreciate you, sir. and we will
Yep.
see y'all next week. All right, y'all. So peace.
Peace out, people.
Two buttons always, always.